Hi, this is going to be a completely unscripted video, but I have sort of thought out what I want to say, so I'll just get straight to the point. First off, I want to say this is not about what I think people should or shouldn't do. It's not a rant on pushing the button you didn't need on an elevator, anything like that. This is meant to be an illustration of what altruism is and how it functions to help society and to help the individual. Actually to help the altruistic individual, which might seem contrary to common sense. So I'm going to use an elevator as a simple example because I just got off of one and got reminded of how this works. Now, imagine that you are on the, let's say, second floor of a building, trying to get down to the first floor. And you're at an elevator that goes from the first floor all the way to the, let's say, 9th floor, arbitrarily. And you push just the down button to get down to the first floor from outside of the elevator. Now, the elevator comes up from the first floor, passes you on the second floor, goes all the way up to the 9th floor, and then picks up one person on each of the floors on the way down. Well, that's going to be a little bit slow. So imagine you decided to be selfish and you hit both buttons on the elevator instead of just the down button, so the elevator would stop to pick you up sooner. What exactly does that benefit you? Well, you get in the elevator sooner. And you might be thinking, okay, but the person who was taking the elevator from the first floor to the 9th floor is being slowed down a little bit by that. But it's not much, so big deal. You got in the elevator sooner, and he doesn't get to where he's going much later. But now consider that on your way up to the 9th floor, another person gets on the second floor, or on the 3rd floor rather, who did the same thing. And another one gets on the 4th floor, who did the same thing. And another one on the 5th floor, who did the same thing. Another one on the 6th. Every single floor somebody gets on, but they're all going down. They all hit both buttons. Well, now when you come down from the 9th floor to the 8th floor, the door is going to open again because the down button was also hit. Nobody's there to get on. Nobody's getting off. You get down to the 7th floor, and the door opens again, and a person gets off there. Get down to the 6th floor, door opens again, and a person gets off there. Or whatever. Or maybe they're all going down to the 1st floor, and nobody even gets off on those floors. But one way or the other, the door is going to open because both buttons had been pressed. So now the elevator has been delayed at each floor by the door opening in both directions, instead of just one. Each person choosing to think only of how to get on the elevator faster not only ended up having to spend more time on a crowded small space, but also slowed everyone's trip down, including their own. Okay, I decided to go back and edit this and add a little clarification on that point. When I said slowed everyone's trip down, including their own, note that I was talking about only people who were actually trying to go down. None of them actually had to hit the up button in this particular example. Although technically the slowing down by hitting the up button was slowing down the trip up. But what I meant by slowing everyone's trip down, including their own, is that, that was including, of course, the time they would have otherwise waited outside of the elevator and the time they instead ended up waiting inside of the elevator, all as part of their trip down. So also I wanted to make a note that I do know that there are cases where someone hits the button they didn't need for reasons other than thinking in a selfish way. For example, some people don't know which one is the up button and which one is the down button. Some people can't read English or just never really thought to bother, I suppose. And There are also cases where somebody just accidentally hits the wrong button before they realize um, they should have hit the other, and so they end up hitting them both as well. So it's just a simple example. Hopefully it'll still be understandable in spite of having been put together so crudely. So thinking of the whole, at least in that case, would have been better than only thinking of themselves. Being altruistic would have benefited everyone directly, including the individual. Now granted, in a lot of other cases, the benefit to the individual who decides to be altruistic is indirect. And in a lot of cases, the benefit to that individual just never seems to happen. But I have a theory which I've put a lot of time into testing and examining. And the way I look at it, you are not limited to the bounds of your body. The effect you have on the world is part of you. And if the effect you have on the world makes the world a better place, then you are benefiting from it. Maybe not the internal you, but at least the external you. The extension of yourself into the world benefits from your altruism.